Hey guys, so my name is Leon, and today I'm gonna be doing the last of our second round playoff previews. The Houston Rockets versus the um, Los Angeles Lakers. So, as we all know, both know, the Houston Rockets just overcame Game 7 versus Oklahoma City. They just eliminated the Thunder last night. It was a good game by everyone involved in Houston. They was able to overcome Chris Paul and Shea, Gilgeous Alexander, and Oklahoma City Thunder to win the series. Good play by James Harden defensively at the last second against Luke Dort. Houston survived. So now their reward is to play against Los Angeles Lakers, which, they're going up against one of the baddest, biggest, strongest playoff teams so far, led by LeBron James. But with that being said, let's just preview the series and let's get to my thoughts about it. Let's start with the Lakers. So as we all know, the starting lineup here is gonna be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, or aka KCP, with Danny Green, LeBron, on the offense, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of the starting lineup. I want them to have like another playmaking guard in there because I don't think LeBron James is a point guard to me. Yes, he can run the offense, but I still think he's like a point forward. So like he's a small forward slash power forward that can run the offense. Kind of like how Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, Kevin Durant, etc., Jimmy Butler. In some ways, etc. Like swingmen, forwards that can run the offense. I don't think LeBron's a point guard. So essentially that makes KCP the point guard, I guess. But either way, the lineup is not really great. But they have size and decent defensive skills. Offensively, it's a struggle. Yeah, you have LeBron and AD, but not really much shooting from that lineup. Danny Green, he's a good shooter. I've been hitting, been inconsistent with his shot so far. So there's that. But the bench is filled with decent role players. So they have guys like what you call Kuzma, who if he can start get shots, he can get hot. J.R. Smith, they signed him recently. Dion Waiters, guys like that. Caruso, who's not an offensive guy, but can get you a little bucket here and there. But he's more of a defensive minded guy. And then they have Dwight Howard, Keith Morris. So the Lakers team on paper looks more of a defensive minded team, and offensively they kind of struggled since the All Star break. Um, they really miss guys like Avery Bradley and Rondo to be on the team. I think Rondo returned recently. I'm not sure, but so far that doesn't matter. They have one of the best defenses in the league. So let's just go right into the stats that they have. So when it comes to them as an offense, surprisingly, they score 11. They're not score, but they're 11th in points per game and with 113.4. So, they do have with the size, they can get the buckets that they want. The 2 point percentage, they have solid numbers there. 2 points attempted, and ninth in the league, and 2 points overall. They made 31.3 2 points a game, 2 point percentage. They're third in percentage with 55.2. But like I just said before, they're not really a shooting team. They only make 11 threes per game, and they attempt uh, around 31.63 points attempted. Both of those numbers are 23rd ranked out of 30 teams, so obviously it's horrible. But when it comes to like field goals attempted, they're number one in the league. Their percentage is 48%, which is it's pretty good, pretty good. When it comes to the opponents, they allow fourth best number. They only allow 107.6 points a game, and which is fourth in the league. They have good rebound numbers against opponents. They don't allow opponents to rebound well. Um, Let me see. They're number one in blocks, number five in turnovers forced. Um, Let me see what else. And then field goal percentage, they allow the eighth least, meaning that they're the eighth best defensive when it comes to field goals defense. So they only allow only 44%. Like opponents shoot only 44%. Uh, Their 3-point defense is top 10. They only allow opponents to make 11.6 3-pointers a game, and their opponents only attempt 33.4 against them, which is 11th in the league, and the 3-point percentage that they allow is 7th with 34.9. So all around, they're a defensive minded team. If they can, get those LeBron James, Anthony Davis games where they could just pound it in the rim, pound in the rim, pound in the rim, especially against a small Houston team, they can probably win this in 5 or 6 games. But I think in 5. But let's just go to Houston. Let's check them for real quick. So I'm gonna show you their roster. Obviously, this is a major small ball team. Westbrook, Harden, the backcourt. Eric Gordon so far has been started over Daniel House. I don't like that adjustment, but whatever. Eric Gordon gives more shooting than Daniel House, but Daniel House gives them more size. But whatever. Robert Covington's playing the 4 for them, and PJ Tucker's playing the 5. Not really a fan of this kind of lineups that they put out there, but hey, they're staying true to their style. So yeah, it is what it is. I just at this point we'll see how it works out for them. Maybe it does. Um, yeah, man. Let's go to the numbers real quick. They're second in points per game with 11, not 11. The second in points per game with 117.8 points a game. Their 2-point percentage is pretty good. They have the second highest percentage at 55.7. Free throws, they make 20.6 a game, which is second. Free throws attempted, 26.1. Obviously, with James Harden, Westbrook, led getting to line, of course, they have a great percentage. Their 3-point percentage, damn. Oh, okay. What? So they attempt the most, obviously. They make the most, but the percentage is 24th. What? That's kind of weird. Okay. But yeah, their field goals they make 16th. They attempt 8 field goals. So I mean, offensively is a really interesting juggernaut when it comes to they attempt a lot of threes, but really it's their 3 throws and the 2-point percentage, which is holding offensive numbers up, which is fair. You have Westbrook and Harden going at it. Now the defense is really, really bad as you expect from a smaller team. Robert Covington, PJ Tucker, guys like that, Daniel House, those guys aren't bad defensively, to be honest. They're playing a position bigger. And when you're playing against, if you're 365, you have to play against someone who's 5 inches, sometimes 6 inches taller than you, at least 3 inches. Guys like that. And even Robert Covington, 6'7", can switch. He's playing against someone who's 7 foot, right? A lot of the time. So guys like that, it's just terrible for Houston defensively. Anyways, let's look at some of the numbers. The attempts, opponents, they allow field goals wise, they allow 91.5, which is 25th, and then the opponents make 42.3, which is 24th. And then the rebound is The rebounds are where they really get like destroyed on. The offensive rebounds a 28th, defensive rebounds 29th, total on 30th. So obviously they cannot rebound with a small lineup like that. Oh man, okay. The 3-point percentage, their 3-point defense is pretty good. They only allow 8th in percentage, so opponents only shoot 34.9 against them, which okay. But yeah, Houston. I thought Houston was gonna be a middle road defense team. They are actually they're the lower half. This is their 23rd out of 13th in points allowed. So yikes. Anyways, who I think is gonna win this series? I think it depends on a lot of factors. The Lakers have size, Houston has quickness, and typically the better shooters. But honestly, if you're relying on PJ Tucker and Robert Covington to hit their threes, especially with a team like Lakers who have size and speed defensively to rush out on the shooters, I don't think it might go well for Houston. And especially if Westbrook's not healthy, I don't know. Like obviously, you'll take LeBron over Harden, you'll take Anthony Davis over Westbrook. But then again, crazier things have happened. This is the Houston Rockets, so I'm not gonna count that out completely. But let's be real here. I think the Lakers gonna win in either 5. No, let's go 6 games. I predict Lakers gonna win in 6. So that's my prediction. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and more content coming soon. And yep, adios.